Hello. I am James, and I live in Manchester in the UK. And you're listening to English with a Brew, a podcast where I talk about different day-to-day topics to help you learn English the most natural way possible. And that is only by listening to it. And if you want to support this podcast, read transcripts, and get exclusive access to more episodes, go to patreon.com/English with a Brew. As we say in Manchester, get a brew on, and let's get started. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Right now in the UK and in the rest of the Northern Hemisphere, it is the middle of the summer. Though, of course, because I live in the UK, the summer does not mean there is sun. And during the summer, schools are out. The kids don't have to go to school and get to spend the entire summer playing with friends and enjoying the break. And we call this the summer holidays. So I thought it could be interesting to talk a little bit about the school holidays that we have here in the UK. And I'm interested to know if they are similar to the holidays where you live in your country. The summer holidays are the longest holidays that school children get. Usually they last 6 weeks, more or less. They normally start in the middle of July after all the students have finished their exams, if they have to take exams that year. And the holidays last until the start of September. The school year in the UK is divided into 3 terms: autumn term, spring term, and the summer term. When school starts in September, the first holiday is called a half term and is in October, and it is usually 1 week long. Next, at the end of the autumn term, it's the Christmas holidays, which last for 2 weeks in December and end in the beginning of January, at the start of the new year. After that, the spring term also has a half-term holiday, just for 1 week in February. And when I was a kid, and still now I suppose, my birthday was always during the half term. So I never had a birthday where I had to go to school. Also, I'd like to say that even though it's called the spring term, it felt more like a winter term. Most of my memories of this term in school were doing sports outside in the cold. Football, rugby, long distance running, and being so cold that when you finished a lesson, you could not feel your fingers or your face. Every part of your body was numb from the cold. And then you had to carry your wet sports clothes covered in mud in your bag for the rest of the day. Sounds a bit sad, right? Anyway, where was I? When the spring term ends, it's the Easter holidays, which, if I remember correctly, is a little bit longer, almost 3 weeks long. Finally, there is another half-term holiday in May, and then that's it until the summer holidays again. We don't usually take exams every year, but I do have one distinct memory of the best summer. It was the final year of secondary school, and in that year, you have to take lots of important exams that decide if you can go to college or sixth form depending on which one you wanted to go to. But the summer holidays started immediately after you took your final exam. And so we were given a much longer summer holiday. It was probably only an extra 3 or 4 weeks. But I always remember that summer felt like it would last forever, like it would never end. And that's it. So I'm interested to know, compared to your country, how similar are our school holidays? Whenever I watch American movies or talk to people that live in other countries, I always feel like we have more holidays, but a shorter summer holidays. So I'm genuinely super interested. Please leave a comment or send me a voice note on Spotify, whichever you prefer. And until the next episode, as always, take care. And that's everything for today's episode of English with a Brew. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you did or if you didn't, and tell me which topics you'd like to hear me talk about in future episodes. And don't forget, you can read the transcript for this episode and get access to more exclusive content over on my Patreon page. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is where you are right now. Take care.